Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the very first ever Printer Run presents Inside a Runner's World. My name's Chris. I'm the host of the show, and I'd like to welcome everybody. I started my company Printer Run several years ago, and during that time, I was blessed to meet a real eclectic mix of people from different backgrounds, all around the world, and I want to share their journey. I want to share their stories. I want to talk about all the places they've been, all the runs they've been on, feelings, emotions, everything that inspired them to do the thing we do called running. And again, I'm very privileged and blessed to have been in the running world and met so many different people. So we started the show, and over the period of weeks, months, and maybe years, we're going to introduce some of the people I've met over the years, and they can share their stories as well. Tonight's guest originally comes from Southern California and started running when he lost 100 pounds. Since moving to Oklahoma to complete his master's degree, he then got serious, and to date has completed 79 half marathons. I'm getting tired just talking about it. 19 marathons, 2 50Ks, and 1 50 miler. By the time we finish the show, he might have a few more to the list as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce tonight's special guest, Mr. Chris Lee. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Very, very good. Welcome to the first episode. Before we do get into it and stuff, this is a live show. We're live on YouTube. So if you do have any comments, part of the reason we do it live is we want live interaction. We're going to go through a little chat basically with the Chris and Chris. That wasn't meant, it just happened. We'll go Chris and Chris. If you do have any comments and you want to ask any questions to Chris, not me, this Chris Lee, put them in the comment section, and we'll get through as the show goes on, and we'll go from there. So welcome, Chris. I hope you're looking very well. You've got your little Boston shirt on. Which year is that from?
This year.
This year. How many Bostons have we done?
Just one.
Just one. Want to go back and do another?
You know, what's funny is I kind of do. It's an electric race. There's so many amazing people, and just hearing everybody's stories makes you want to go back over and over again.
I did mine in 2022. I had to look at the numbers. I forget. It morphs into 1 year after everything, right? So I did mine in 2022. Had an horrific experience. Wasn't feeling good up to the race. I got dehydrated. Wasn't putting sun cream on like they were handing out at the start. I flopped. Got over the line and said, I'll never come back to Boston again. And it took me like a year or so. After the year or so came up, I basically decided, maybe I'll go back and give it a go. Marta, if you don't know Marta in the running community, obviously she got so excited when she was typing, she misspelled welcome, but we'll forgive you. It's okay. It's a live show. That's what we're all here to do as well, to go through the live show. So I'll get started, right? Whereabouts in Southern California?
Los Angeles.
Okay. LA, California. Born and raised, playground, spending most of the days, all that kind of good stuff as well. So every marathon runner has a day one. Can you remember the exact moment or turning point that made you say, I'm going to run 26.2 miles? And how does that version of you compare to the runner sitting here today?
You know, it's funny because I didn't get into running until later in life. When I was in high school, I avoided running the mile. We had to run the mile, and I avoided it at all costs. I would just I don't want to do it, and made all this stink about it. I was studying in Germany for a semester, and witnessed my first half marathon. And it was this cool experience. So many people were coming together. We were cheering on a buddy of mine. And so that's kind of when I started losing weight. And then when I got back to the States, I was I wanted to do this. I want to start running. Let's just kind of get the wheels turning. My brother had gotten into Run Disney, and it was he wanted to do all these races. So he's you want to do a 10K with me? I was sure. So that was the summer I moved to Oklahoma, in the deep of summer. And so I trained for my first 10K. It was amazing. I was let's go into the half. And I stayed at the half for a little bit. And then I was Oklahoma's home now. Let's try the marathon. It's right here. It should be easy. I did not have a great race. And so it did take me a couple months to get back into it. But I looking back, it's been a crazy experience. And if you would have told me in high school that I'd be running marathons for fun, I'd be laughing at you, because it's just been this like weird phenomenon. Like, I actually get to do this. I have the ability to run, and I'm putting my body to the test.
So let me ask you, Stan, you know, we talk about physical fuel or hydration gels, all that kind of thing. What was the actual emotional or mental fuel that got you through your very first training block?
So a lot of it was just like the support I had with friends. I had joined a local running community. I had a couple of friends who were joining me for the marathon, and then they were running the half. And so they would just help me through the training runs. And that was the saving grace, because back then I couldn't run by myself. I couldn't go out and run a 16-miler, a 20-miler. I would give up. And so having those people there to help me, and knowing that, hey, you can do it, just keep going, that got me to what I needed to be. And it's definitely gotten easier as I go. I can kind of pull out some 20 miles if I need to. But having that support group has been really amazing.
It's that mental block, isn't it, of getting over the first thing to do it. I always found, I remember doing, when I first got into it late as well. And you know, I didn't go through the weight change that you did. I've always been a stick insect, so to speak. But I remember doing my very first half marathon in Florida, and it got to I've never really ran that far before, but you know, half marathon, you're thinking, I think the most I trained for was like 7 or 8 miles. And it was in Florida. It was running along the A1A as the sun's coming up. And it was about mile 10, mile 11. And I'm gassed. I'm literally done. I'm toast. I'm thinking I've got 2-3 miles left to go. I've got to get to the end, right? Whether I walk or crawl or something like that. And as I'm literally at the point of just waving my little hand and flying, giving up and everything, there was being politically correct now, there was a plus size lady who went just skipping past me without a drop of sweat on her forehead. And to me, that was my motivation, right? Because I'm thinking, if this lady is carrying all this weight and is doing it and putting the effort in and getting through, then I should be able to do that. And that was that, having those people around you, whether you're running with them or around them, it kind of makes you not give up. I think it kind of makes you think, well, I can't stop because I don't want to see that person see me stop and give in, kind of thing, just to keep me going back. So taking your overall marathon experiences, you know, looking back at your proudest marathon achievement, what is the one memory of race that really never fails to give you goosebumps when you think about it?
So it was actually my first Chicago. I didn't want to run the majors. I got really bad FOMO with friends who did it the previous year. So I was like, I'll put my name in the lottery. It's not going to happen. Well, my name was picked. And so I was like,
credit card goes ka-ching.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my credit cards. I guess we're doing this. And so like I was excited for it. I had surgery about 2 years beforehand. So I was kind of slowly getting back into marathon.
All right, time out. Head surgery. Talk to me about it.
So I had hip surgery.
Sorry. I thought you said head surgery. Sorry.
Hip surgery.
Okay, hip. My bad.
I had a labral tear, which is a pretty common like injury for runners. Mine was congenital, so there's nothing I could have done to prevent it. So the ball and socket was rubbing on the labrum. So what they ended up doing is going in there and cleaning up the labrum. They put a nylon rope in my hip, and then they shaved the ball and socket so that when I am like doing those kind of motions of running or walking, nothing rubs. And so that was a first hurdle trying to get back into running. Okay. So fast forward so this was 2020, like right kind of when COVID started. And so I ended up with surgery, then ran, I think 2 marathons the next year, and then Chicago. So Chicago was like the big thing. I was so excited to go back to Chicago. I've been to Chicago plenty of times, but not running the marathon. So 6.5 weeks before that, I ended up getting into a really bad car accident where I was at a 4-way stop, and this lady did not see the stop sign. She blew past at like 50 miles per hour and hit my driver's side. And so she T-boned my car. And when the paramedics came, I was like, am I still here? Like, what's going on? Ended up going to the hospital. First question I asked the doctor is, can I run a marathon in 6.5 weeks?
No. I'm never going to walk again. What about the marathon? The marathon?
The running. Um, so I have to really thank the doctors and my physical therapist and some friends. So I ended up walking all of my long miles. So I would walk 16, 18, 20 miler. And when I got to Chicago, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to get out there, have fun. And I was leading up to that race, I had a lot of doubts about it. I did lose my mom in 2020. And so I was like, I'm doing this for her.
Sorry to hear.
Whatever happens, I'm doing it for her. I know she would be proud. And so I remember crossing that finish line and be like, this feeling is amazing. And I honestly can't believe 6.5 weeks beforehand, like I was in a big car accident. I had a fractured rib. So that's kind of why I had to walk, because there was so much pain. And so that experience, like to this day, Chicago 2022 has been like the pinnacle of my running.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny you should say that, because it's we talk about whys, and I'm not really going to get into the running why and everything, and people have a certain thing, and it's always, to me, what amazed me about runners, it's remembering something that they've done that helps them get over the things the next time they go through that barrier, or what they think they can't do it, and that kind of thing. It really puts it into perspective from that point of view. So, and again, one of the things that I've had over the years with Printer Runners, social media shows signs, finish lines, and the medals. But what does the ugly side of your marathon journey look like? Tell us a moment that you wanted to quit, and why did you keep going?
I think there's been a couple of moments. I would say more recently, last year, it was the summer. I was getting ready to start a training block. Ended up twisting my ankle, mowing the lawn out of everything. And so that was like,
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing, but I'm laughing. It's never non-running related shit, though, is it? It's never non-running related. It's not like I went out and I was supposed to do 8, but I did 10. I did my groin. It's always like we're doing house chores or something stupid.
Yeah. And so I knew I was going to run Tokyo. And so I was going to use Marine Corps as like, hey, let's get back into the miles and let's throw a fast one in Tokyo. And that whole like cycle, I was like, what am I doing? Like, why do I want to do this? Like, it's really hot outside. I can barely walk. But then I remember like, I will get over this. And before I know it, I'll be able to run again. And that kept me going. Then just remind myself of all the other stuff I had to go through to get to this point, like the surgery, Chicago. It just keeps fueling me to keep going. And I wouldn't be able to complete the 3 marathons in 2 months earlier this year without remembering that I've done hard things, and this is just another step to prove that I can keep doing it.
So let's talk about your personal life in a minute, if you don't mind me, asking about what do you do for work?
I work in commercial solar.
Okay.
So renewable.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. So running obviously marathons changes a person. So how would you say the discipline and grit you developed running marathons has kind of spilled over into your personal professional life?
It just gives me more clarity that there might be some hurdles here and there, but I can figure out a solution to get it done. In the commercial solar world, it's so volatile that you don't know what's going to happen. Like something can change today, 3 days later, something can change. And so it's just a reminder that, okay, we can get through this and then just keep going. And there's going to be dips in life and in running and work. So just keep pushing forward, just one step at a time, and you'll get whatever task or project you need completed.
So now that you've achieved so much, I mean, you've last couple of years, I just showed some stuff at one of the things that, I love that picture when you showed me that recently. It's like, it just says it all, the big cheesy grin, you've got all your swag, all your medals, and it's literally, it's the game, right? It's almost like you complete the video games that you've been playing and training on for so many years. You've completed it and you've done it. But let's look at this, your ultimate bucket list running goal. What's left? What's left to achieve now? You've, just showcased some of the things with Disney, everyone the medal count is crazy. And Disney to me is a financial investment alone, let alone, flying to different events and stuff. Is there anything left on the bucket list from a running goal?
Yeah. So I think for me with the majors, it was more of completion than speed. A lot of it because it's been back to back to back. And so now I do want to tone it in and be able to like hit my PRs. And so in the coming years, I have a goal to break sub 2 in the half marathon, not the marathon.
Yes. Hey, we've got to have a goal, right? Reach for the stars. Right. Reach for the stars.
And then I do want to go sub 5 in the marathon, and then maybe hit another 50 miler. As time goes by, it might change, but those are kind of my current goals. I'm kind of taking the season off just to. I had some nagging injuries that I know if I kept going that it might get worse. So trying to dial it back up, get my strength training in, get my stretching in, and then kind of hit it hard next year.
It's, you know what, it took me 7 attempts to do sub 2, and it's all psychological. I swear by it. It's all, once you've done it, and that's anything in life really. Once you've done it once, psychologically, it's just it's an achievement that's been done before. And again, I'm not plugging Printer Run too much, but when I started Printer Run, the whole goal was for people who have doubt, they can reflect from a print and say, okay, I've done it before. It's no biggie, right? We all have doubt. Even on the start line, it's like, am I going to get through this? Am I going to finish this today? But then you start thinking, hang on a minute. I've ran 16 marathons before. What are you talking about? Just, it's this guy's talking and that guy's talking. Who's the right character to look through? So one good question I like to ask for anybody, really, if you could go back, what did you say your first marathon was?
It was in Oklahoma City in 2018.
Okay. So you go back, young Chris at the time is on that starting line. You're starting to go, and you, current Chris, can go back and what is the single piece of advice you would whisper to that younger self?
You can do it.
Yeah. I
think I had that training cycle wasn't great at all. I think I did 114, 116. Because there was a lot of doubts. The year before I was supposed to run the marathon, I think the year before, and I like chickened out and I was like, no, I'm not doing it. So showing up that morning was a big deal because this is kind of my first attempt showing up. And so I remember that finish line. And it was such an amazing experience. And as I meet people, I do get comments like, I am a bigger runner and I'm fine with that. And it's like, no matter what size you are, you can do it. Just
I want to mention this because I saw I think it was this year or last year, you shared something on, I think it was Instagram. You shared something about things people had said about you being a bigger runner, right? It's, the comments and stuff. And I see that quite a lot online, and some people deal with it in different ways, but I was very impressed with the way you dealt with it and the way it almost like, I don't know if it inspires you to want to go out and do better and do bigger and stuff, but it was almost to say, it's water bouncing off a duck's back. It means nothing. It's just, it happens, right? As we get older, you start losing hair, people call you bald and all that kind of stuff, but it's how different people deal with it. And I was blown away just with how you took that and how you kind of said, you know what, F you kind of thing, look at all the stuff I've achieved, look at all the places I've been, all the experiences I've had, all the friends I've made over the years. And it's got to hurt, right? It's got to hurt in some way, I'm sure. But how do you deal with that? How do you kind of put the wall up to that?
Yeah. So I will say I've been used to it. And so at a young age, I got bullied a lot. And so until I stood up to them, that's when I kind of gained the confidence, and they back down. And so as I've been in this journey of being a bigger runner, it fazed me a little bit, but it's have you looked at all the medals that I've done, all the miles I put down? I still show up, no matter what's going, no matter what injury, I will work through it and keep going. And no matter I just call them keyboard warriors. And I hear it on even with pros that get it too. And I'm like, I'm not even a pro. I'm just here having fun, getting some miles in, having memories with friends. It's not a big deal. It's just running. And to quote Des Linden, it's only fucking running. It's
Michigan. Shout out to Michigan. Lives not too far. Well, too far to me, but compared to she's Michigan, so we'll go from there. But yeah, it's my my kind of the only thing I can compare it to is like I live in kind of a snobby part of Michigan. It is where it is. It's quiet. It's safe. We live on the water. It's beautiful around here. But when I'm going running at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll say hello to everybody. I'm English. It's just what we do. It's just you say hello to somebody. And I'd say probably about 1 in 3 people around here will say hello back to you. And I think it's 5 o'clock in the morning. We're out running. We're doing the same thing, just I'm not asking for a conversation. Just acknowledge the fact that I'm saying hello kind of thing. And that's to go back to your point. That's what I love about this business that we're in of running. It's such an eclectic mix. And I again, I've been blessed over the years to meet so many different people that are sub 3 marathon runners, that people who are 6-hour marathon runners. And we all do it. We all have the same common interest in life, in running at this stuff, and I always joke to people that are trying to shave 5 minutes off the time or 6 minutes off the time. And they get all depressed because they wanted to run a sub 3:30. And I say, it doesn't matter if you finish in 3 hours or 6 hours, we all get the same t-shirt and we all get the same shitty medal and we all go home. It's just a number at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're trying to achieve something for push yourself, great. If not, you know what? Here's my Chicago Marathon medal from 2022. Nobody gives a crap about what time I ran that day. Nobody cares. The fact that I went out the same as you, and you, we all did it. Kudos to all the people that went out there and did it and stuff. No, I love it, dude. And again, I've followed you over the years and seen you go through adversity with people saying things to you. And I just love the fact that you just continue. And again, this is the best answer to those critics. It's just like, well, if you want to go and run a marathon and critique me, be my guest. But until then, shut the F up.
Well, and to kind of go on that same point, like I got so many amazing messages throughout, like finishing at Boston and going to London. Like it was overwhelming. You're always going to have, like, I wasn't a big sharer, and I joined social media like years ago, not intending to like try to inspire people, just kind of share my journey. But you never know who you're going to inspire. And like, I got a lot of messages were like, this is my goal. Like, I'm glad to see somebody that is a bigger runner or slower runner that's doing all these hard goals. And I'm going to keep doing that. Like, I'm not going to let a couple keyboard warriors like derail me. Like, I got goals. I'm going to keep going, and we'll see on the other side.
No, I love it, dude. I really do love it. All right. We're doing for time? 23 minutes. We're doing all right. So I've got a couple more things to ask you. We're going to do what we call our lightning round. I've got to think of a better name for this. A lightning finisher or something like that. We'll tone it up. So by episode 25, we'll have it dialed in and everything. So I'm going to put my glasses on and read, because this is stuff that I've written down. I want to make sure I get it right. Okay. Quick fire round. To wrap things up, give us the immediate unfiltered reaction. You ready?
Okay.
All right, let's go. Early morning miles or late night runs?
Late night.
Oh, the perfect running playlist or total silence?
Taylor Swift.
Guilty post race meal?
Oh, coffee and some kind of breakfast, like sandwich or.
That's not guilty. Come on, you gotta go crazy on that stuff. All right, freezing rain or 90-degree heat?
90-degree heat.
3 words that describe finish line feeling to you.
Oh my gosh. Accomplished, amazing, and then fantastic.
Awesome. Karaoke song?
Oh, Journey.
Okay. Guilty running song. Everyone's got a song in their playlist, which it blows them. Mine's Sia, Chandelier. I love it. It's my guilty song. I don't pronounce it too much. Guilty song.
Bad Blood by Taylor Swift.
Okay. Finally, in one single word, what does running mean to you?
Everything.
Beautiful. Appreciate it, Chris. How was that?
It was amazing.
Nice and easy. Well, thank you for joining us, Chris. I'm going to basically kick you off in a second, but I appreciate everything you've done over the years. And again, go on my own journey, but I'm so blessed to meet different people over the years, and it be inspired by them, because again, when I started my little business and I started creating prints for people, it was literally done for people to keep their race memories alive. And that's why we have photographs of our races. And if you see in this, okay, Chris has got one of Primrun's prints, but look at all those medals behind you. That's a down payment on a house, I think, maybe pretty much is there as well. But again, it's like it is a bug. It is something we get inspired by, that we want to go into. And I'll say this from the bottom of my heart, Chris, keep doing what you're doing, keep it inspiring. It's been a few years now. We connected, and I hope many continues for the next few years as well. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being guest number 1 on this episode. And if you've enjoyed watching us or viewing us and stuff, please give us a follow. If you're not following us on Instagram yet, please do so. If you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get all the latest clips and all trends and all that kind of good stuff as well. And keep in touch. But thank you, Chris. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, boys and girls, that was it. That was episode 1 in the can. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know Marta did. Thank you, Marta, for your comments throughout the show and everything. Again, if you'd like to join, follow us in the future, please do so. And until next time, see you soon.